Brought to you by...
The recent pandemic that we all had to suffer through was extremely hard on all of us. Though the restrictions have now all lifted, we still feel the effects of its stranglehold on the world. Some of us still wear our masks in public. Many still keep their distance from others. And some have been so emotionally traumatized by the threat of disease that they have not yet become comfortable stepping outside the walls of their homes. This experience has led so many to tell stories that reflect the isolation and loneliness that they have experienced. Some even expanding on those feelings to a much darker degree. Hello friends, and welcome back for another ETF short film review. Leah is a 30-something single woman searching for love online in a world under siege, when the sanctuary of her home becomes a cage in which she is hunted. The line between hopeful fantasy and stark reality begins to blur. Under the direction of Adrian Picardi, we open in the seemingly derelict streets of a small town at early morning. We immediately fall into an atmosphere of isolation. A young blonde sits alone in her apartment, getting ready for a FaceTime call with what we can only assume is her boyfriend, or at least the man she wishes to shtup. This one surely fits into that COVID aesthetic quite well, centering around a couple of some sort holding a date night over the internet, since they can't be together physically. The idea is further compounded as she heads off to bed and Googles symptoms. The film wisely doesn't show us what she is Googling, but the list of symptoms we see very closely relates to what we know C19 is capable of. The score throughout this film elevates the experience well, delivering the droning paranoia that we have all come to know while worrying whether or not we will contract the dreaded C19. Visually, this film is gorgeously captured in an intimate, dreamlike style that I can only relate to the way something like Arrival looks, letting the subject of shots fall into deep focus. This is a film that utilizes depth of field quite well. Things move in and out of focus gradually, and they let the camera linger uncomfortably close to the performance at times. However, here, that style adds a more kinetic camera technique, implementing handheld and sometimes floaty motion to elevate the tension as our protagonist wakes up to find her temperature severely elevated. This energy is further enhanced by the hard and quick editing that adds impact to each moment with every cut. The real star of this one for me was the beautifully represented sense of isolation, as we come to find out that our protagonist lives directly across the way from the man she wants to be with. It cements the degree in which we have all had to live our lives over the course of the pandemic, cut off from loved ones, sometimes only by mere feet. Obviously, we start to see that the film is not specifically about COVID, as her symptoms start to elevate beyond the cough and fever and into coughing up blood. The film visually portrays panic incredibly well, utilizing bokeh and light leaking effects alongside camera shake to intensify what would normally be subtle moments and place you into Leah's perspective. Suddenly, this fucking story shifts into a full-blown fucking monster movie, as in her panicky state, a strange insect-like creature comes crawling down her stairs. All of a sudden, we find ourselves in an epic post-apocalyptic finale that was honestly gorgeously presented. For a short film that features some very prominent visual effects, each one is very well blended into the narrative and looked really good. However, this ending comes with a dark twist that you might see coming, but for me, it didn't hurt the experience one bit. I'm giving Spore an A. While limited in scope, this one delivers strongly with its impact, utilizing great performances, striking visual techniques, and a solid story to sell the tone of a familiar isolation in an extreme circumstance. It manages to be both fun and entertaining, as well as visually captivating from moment one. I really can't recommend it enough. That's going to bring this discussion to an end. If you enjoyed this video, please consider checking out more from ETF over on the main channel. If you want to give this channel some support, please consider subscribing over on Patreon. Every little bit is going to help this channel grow, and I am working really hard on some fun, exclusive content just for my supporters. Until next time, stay safe, and as always, thanks for watching.